PKN 417. How you boys doing?
Oh, doing
Very
wonderful. Well. So, Kyle, I had on my docket, maybe even tonight, to watch Crimes of the Future because you texted that it was bizarre and weird, and I thought that was like a glowing review.
No,
but it's not. That you meant in a poor way.
So I've been meaning to see this film for a while now, and it just now was like $6 rental. $6 rental seems fair. That's what I think that should cost.
$4.99 for HD, no more.
I agree with you. That would feel okay, but hey, I'm not driving to Blockbuster anymore, and there it is, brand spanking new. All these professionals came together, and I hear there's nudity, and so I hop into this thing and
free.
$6. I'm back.
Like I'm gonna spoil this movie, but I promise you, it's a garbage movie. And unless you're like one of those people who really likes the creepy, weird stuff for the sake of being weird, and you're not going to be upset that there's no like real story, or at least through editing they lost the story. So here's the deal: it's the future, right?
Sure.
They don't say how far it's been, and they do that thing where the if you can imagine, we're like kind of zoomed in on these couple of characters. We don't get to see the broader world. We don't know how like the United States. Take the spoilers thing down. I'm sorry, it's distracting me. We don't see how the broader world is doing. We don't see like any technology really. Like we're kept in the dark about.
Very myopic. We're just following.
Maybe
like
it's
a couple
30
guys.
years from now. Maybe it's 3,000 years from now. You can't really tell. But the issue is the planet's clearly like toxic. Every environment they're in, every building they're in, looks ruined and filthy. Even though these characters are seemingly well-to-do people, they live in these like filthy places most of the time, and they do their business in filthy, scummy places. Even the government buildings, it looks like what they would show of the Soviet Union at its worst. Like really terrible conditions. And people have stopped being able to feel pain, physical pain, and infections stopped happening. Bacterial infections stopped happening. And one of the characters kind of remarks on this. He's like, what happened? Like, we just stopped getting infections? What is that? You know, I don't know. We're all going a little crazy these days. And so Viggo Mortensen's character is a performance artist. And he is this new kind of performance artist. Due to all the toxins in the environment, people are growing these like cancerous, tumorous like organs. And like Viggo Mortensen has them like cut out as quickly as possible because he feels they're killing him. You know, they're like they're organs with no function. And he has these ports in his body where his like partner, this hot ass lady, can like look in there with like a scope and be like, oh yeah, it's a big one. And she tattoos it while it's inside of him. And then she operates on him without anesthetic, even though he can feel the pain. That's the unique thing about him. And people get to gawk at someone feeling pain while being operated on. And they remove this organ with the tattoos on it. And that's the show. And it is like a sexual experience for both the cutter and the cuttee. And because
so
no, not in this particular scene. It's performance art. There's a huge, it's like an old opera theater opera type thing. No, they don't eat it. It's grotesque. It's about like just watching him be operated on. And he's not being operated on by hand and scalpel. There's this futuristic bio chair or bed that has these weird like hands that come up and do the operation for the, and then the lady is operating with this weird little controller, making it operate on him. And there's multiple operations. There's the autopsy of a naked child. There was so much sexual stuff with his like innards. Like there's a point where he decides to upgrade and get a zipper. And so he's just got this zipper across his midsection right above his belly button that goes horizontal across his like.
So it's convenient for his livelihood that infections no longer happen.
That's the thing. Like when you walk down the streets, there's these like sickos in the street who are like cutting each other and like getting off on that with like knives and like, and the whole thing is, and look, I'm pretty good at reading between the lines, I guess. Like what they wanted us to focus on and what would have been a cool fucking movie is if there'd been this like crime noir thing in the future, fucking nighttime, always stormy nights and stuff, and trying to figure out the mystery. And the mystery is these people, this cult have been operating on themselves and giving themselves artificial organs and like mutating themselves so that they can digest plastic, this food that's literally made out of fucking plastic. And because they believe that's the next step of human evolution. We've ruined the world. The only way we go back is if we're the solution. We've got to learn to feed on our own waste. And this child whose mother kills it in the first 5 minutes of the movie, you watch that for quite a while, was the firstborn who was just born that way. He could just digest plastic. He's just chewing on waste baskets and shit.
They killed the one like eco-friendly kid.
His mother killed him because he was fucking weird and she'd had enough of it. He's eating a waste paster basket.
She'd had enough of it.
She'd had enough of it.
His organs, they're constantly regrowing. He's constantly getting new ones.
Not like
for,
Wolverine or anything,
shows.
but like every month or every 3 months or so, he's got a cool new fucking like cyst growing inside him that they chop out and tattoo up.
And you
not in that order.
And you thought it was just weird for the sake of being weird, more than in pursuit of a purpose.
I watched an interview with the director. I'd watched an interview with Cronenberg, I know he loves body humor, and he accomplished. I'll tell you what, he made me very uncomfortable because there's this scene where Kristen Stewart's the girl from the Twilight movies, the really attractive young actress. She was in that Cthulhu like underwater movie recently that kind of fell off the rails, but it was really good. I didn't see it promoted anywhere. She's like endoscoping Viggo Mortensen, like looking in his belly, and she's gyrating and like moaning, like kind of under her breath.
This
like
sounds
she's masturbating.
awful. This is stupid and lame and without a plot. And I feel like it's a chore to get through.
I got an hour into it and quit. And I came back to it the next day, so the $6 wouldn't be wasted. And I watched the last 40 minutes. And when it finally ended, I went, wait, no, that's it? No. Wait.
Where's the end? Where's the wrap up?
Yeah. And look, there is a story.
I would pay $7 for just the nude scenes. Like, save me some time.
There's some really good nude scenes in there. There's all right.
Is that chick? Is her name Kristen Stewart?
Kristen Stewart is the only one who doesn't get naked. Everyone else is naked.
I'm out. If this were Shark Tank, I'm leaving. This is it. Zach, I push my chips away.
Search. Show them the chair that Viggo sits in that helps him eat his food. It's a
poor Viggo.
Crimes of the Future breakfasting chair. Like so he sits in this breakfasting chair and it's got all these like arms and like gyration things, and it's supposed to put you in the perfect position so that you can digest your food. And it's like and it's comical. It's like some Pee-wee circus shit. He's like trying to eat and it's like jiggling him around and he's trying to get this see how the chair is made like a skeleton? Like all of the technology is, and like when the technicians come to work on his chair, it's these two beautiful like 25-year-old females, and they're like, wait, you have an X3000? And he's like, down in the basement. And then the next thing, they're down in the basement, and these girls are looking at this guy's operating bed like they're looking at a Ferrari with a dick. Like that's the best way I can explain it. Like they're looking at a 100-mile-per-hour fucking $250,000 fuck machine.
100 miles an hour?
Are
you telling me they have a Ford Focus in this thing?
calling that technology, first of all, is generous.
Well, it jiggles you around.
Sure I just looted something like that from the Skyrim temple.
So I will say this: it was dreadful. It was an awful film. I'll never watch it again. But if you really want to see, I don't know what that actress who's his co-star is. But if you really want to see like a close-up of her titties and then her getting like cut up with a scalpel for like while she moans,
I don't want to see this because I love weird movies, like weird, strange movies, because the whole time you're wondering like, how is all this going to tie in and pay off into something like that's threaded and dovetails? But if it's just weird for weird, you don't. It just tantalizes you, and there's no payoff.
I can't stand it when it's weird and there's no payoff. Yeah, that describes it. When you've got to give me something. That very French looking beautiful woman. It's very naked. I need to like the whole time you're dropping clues. It needs to be signs, right? Where
breadcrumbs, keep them coming.
At the end of it, you're like, oh yeah, he left the glasses of water everywhere. He was the great baseball guy. She has the asthma, and like everything came together. That's what I need from a weird movie. If you're just like, I bet you wondered why you've been here. The end.
Yeah.
And Yeah.
If Game of Thrones is you, like I can't think of a good episode, but like Sinister or whatever. That's a good horror movie. It's not very twisty and turny, but I like at the end of those movies, whether it's thriller or whatever, when I'm like, oh, that's why that kid was so weird around wicker baskets because of this. And it was so subtle. Now? I would have noticed it, but now I can look back with like foresight. What sucks is like when it's Game of Thrones at the end and you just go, oh, so there was no reason for the kid to be weird around wicker baskets.
Oh yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
So they clearly were trying to get me to start thinking about the implications of something as a red herring.
They're throwing red herrings every fucking where all the time, and it's almost like they're doing it so in the future that they can be in a writers' meeting and they can have their like all the red herrings up on the table and be like, hey, maybe we could do something with that one lady with the curtain of beads on her face. Remember her?
Yeah. Remember when she was on screen for 4 seconds?
What about John's dog? You know it's $650K for a second. Nah.
That would have been a good end to that character with the beads. Like, this will be the last time you ever hear or see from me again. Like that's like she sends. It's like that person in Skyrim who sends you on a quest 15 minutes into the game, and then 20 hours of daytime later, you come back with his rabbit foot, and he's like, "That was quick." Like that level of shit. Oh, Kyle, you mentioned a couple weeks ago the belly button cleanliness thing with the Q-tip, and I was hoping to get like something out of it, but I went in there, I got the Q-tip, I got it all wet with the soap like I normally do. Went in there, there's nothing. I dug in my belly button. I
genuinely expected you to have a filthy one too.
I thought so. I thought I thought I might have some crumsies in there, but I did not. There was nothing to dig out. I got my finger in there. I got my Q-tip.
Try knife.
One bacon bit. Like one bacon bit tumbles in there, right? And you'd think nothing of it, but then like a colony of ants slowly moves in there, and they're sustaining and living off that bacon bit.
We have got to do a Colorado trip and sneak a popcorn kernel in there.
Until just a little green stem coming out and blossoming.
Well, they planted a watermelon seed in my belly button as a prank, and now I've got 3 weeks to live.
Joke's on them. That free watermelon.
Yeah. I didn't. It was very clean. Like there wasn't even discoloration on the Q-tip. I do always get in there with my finger with like soap, rub around.
I use a power drill. So I've got a bristle. It goes on the end of my DeWalt.
Well, you said you get some stuff in there sometimes, and so I'm thinking maybe you have caverns in the folds of your belly button.
Oh, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. We think your obstetrician was incompetent and left you with a belly button that is the equivalent of foreskin.
Oh, that sounds gross.
Right, just collecting cheese and things all the time. Disgusting.
An Audi would be the clean one in this situation.
You know what, though? I feel like a really talented obstetrician would give you a smoothie. That's what you're looking for. You're looking
Make it like nothing was ever there.
Like Kyle XY. that retarded WB show from so long ago. Yeah. Well, I just wanted to keep you abreast on my belly button cleanliness.
It's good to know. It's good to know. Keep me updated. I think you need to get one of those cupping apparatuses where you have the candle under there and it slowly sucks your belly button until it makes it.
Taylor, you could probably just use the penis pump you already have.
So when they do it with an asshole, so when they do this with an asshole, I think it's called like a cherry blossom or something.
Rosebud. It's called a rosebud.
Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna do that to you. Now that is the only way to be sure that your belly button is 100% clean. You got to turn that baby inside out.
No, rosebud.
It's a 2-man job.
Such a gentle little thing. No, it's gonna be all red, all irritated. It's gonna be Mount Vesuvius under there, just red donut.
Hook the air compressor up.
Yeah,
we'll get it taken care of.
Well, I have been getting. I wanted to ask about your skin routine. So, I love boiling hot showers, and I know that's not good. I know you're not supposed to do that because it dries your skin out. And I've been getting dry skin recently. What do I do, Kyle? What product do I get?
Lotion. Lotion.
Just regular hand lotion? on my face?
Well, no. There's lotions for different parts of your body. You want to get a facial lotion. So the facial lotion I use is called Jack Black. Had no relation to the comedian. I think he's like he makes cosmetics or some shit. Jack Black does.
It's for black people that masturbate.
Yeah, it is. It burns if you use it on your penis, though. I promise. So it's
really Jack Black sounds like it's designed for that.
It comes with SPF 15, so you're always wearing sunscreen now. But you put 6 or 7 pumps of that stuff on your face every day. Get your neck too. Get the back of it. It's when the sun hits you. Keep that cancer away. And at the same time, it moisturizes your face. It's non-scented. It's non-tinted. It is a little expensive.
I do like non-scented though.
Oh yeah. See. Yeah,
that's a little one. Right?
Keeps the cancer.
No, that's the price per ounce. They're listing the price per ounce.
Well, that other one's a terrible
yesterday.
Deal.
Oh no, that seems like that's weird. that's the wrong kind. It's body lotion. So that's body lotion. I don't use their body lotion. That seems expensive for body lotion. Find their facial stuff.
I'll look up their facial lotion. But Woody, you got your results?
I did.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So cancer. It's that basal cell carcinoma. Right.
Kyle had.
Same thing, right? So I think I talked about the surgeon I was getting, right? Did I go into that before, the Moore surgery or Mohs surgery? Mohs, I think. Yeah. So I guess
maybe you said it in private. I don't remember if you said it on the show.
In short, I went there saying, "Hey, can I get a referral to a plastic surgeon?" Right? Because it's on my face. It's right where it's here. And, you don't want to get just a regular ER doc digging away at your face and putting back. Yeah, you know what? He's alive. I did my job. Yeah, time me. That's not the move. I remember when Taylor cut his arm, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, you're a dude and it's your arm. But had it been something you cared more about, or maybe if you were girls get a scar in their thigh and all of a sudden it impacts their sense of self-worth. Get plastics, right? Get plastics to sew this thing back. Get plastics to sew you back up. Just get it done right. And a lot of people will just take the first doctor that's willing to do it, and you get some fucking intern in the ER trying it, and that's not what you're looking for. So anyway, taking my own advice, this is Mohs surgery, and what it is, it's a level more delicate than plastics. They specialize in removing cancer from faces and putting it back together in the most attractive way possible. And normally when you remove cancer, you have to take margins, and you remove more than you have to make sure that there's only skin. These guys have a biopsy lab right there. So they scrape off 0.5 millimeter, look at it under the microscope. If there's more to go, they do it again. As soon as they get a clean thing, they don't have to leave a 3 millimeter margin. They can just biopsy it fucking right next to the operating table and stop as soon as possible rather than big clean margins.
It looks really small. On your eye or on your nose?
It does right now. Here, could you full screen me, Zach?
Maybe I just can't see it.
It's here.
Yeah.
And right now it looks pretty good because there's no scab on it. After every shower, I put Vaseline on it, and that's the best it can look. It looked a little worse a week or two ago. You guys don't see it on the show because I wear glasses, but when I don't, it's what's that fucking thing on your nose, and why has it been there for 6 months now?
So it was just it just wouldn't close, always
exactly
bleeding.
Yeah.
When you weren't wearing glasses, it was opening.
Right. The first time it ever happened, I slept in glasses. And I woke up and I had this cut on my nose. So I was like, well, there's the cause and effect, right? I'll just give it a little time to heal. And it's not healing. So I concluded, falsely, I'm like, well, what happens is I have to wear glasses every now and then. And I had just started wearing daily glasses, and I wasn't letting it get better. So I need to live without glasses for a while. So just stop irritating this thing on my nose, which I did for weeks and months. It still didn't heal. So I went to a dermatologist. I mentioned on the show months ago, and they're like, this might be cancer. We should get a biopsy. You should go to a plastic surgeon, have it cut out, and then they'll biopsy it, and we'll know after the fact, but you'll already be cured. So that had been my plan before I knew about Mohs. And anyway, I took that information, sat on it, and did nothing because I thought it was healing. Even right now, it looks pretty good. If I hadn't had biopsy results, I'd be like, well, maybe it's not cancer. If it's healing on its own, then it's not. And really, it's just, it looks bad when there's a scab on it, and it looks good when I've Vaselined it with no scab. So, but we have biopsy results. It's not a guess anymore. It's cancer.
Yeah.
And
when's the appointment?
I want to say September 12th. Something. If that's not it, that's really close.
Oh, lucky day.
Yeah.
Nothing bad ever happens a day before that.
Went to prison? Or are you thinking of September 11th?
I was thinking. I'm just thinking. I've been watching a lot of South Park. Butter's birthday is September 11th. It's just another horrific thing about that character.
The first day they gave me was the 8th, and I'm like, I've got the show. I don't really want to have surgery, and then like the show a few hours later, everyone will roast me.
What great joke!
So this is going to be.
The 11th.
So you get a little local anesthetic, and they're gonna go in, huh?
I think so. My imagination is it's a local anesthetic, and then like a scraping, and they scrape it, biopsy it, scrape it, biopsy it until they get no cancer in it.
Fun. Scrape?
Yeah, that was how they took the biopsy. So I just kind of inferred that they keep going.
So
like
that was
like a circular blade. They just sort of remove a little bit and carve it out.
That was one of the options that I had. I said, So my concern with that is they said that it could come back and we would just have to do this all over again in like a short period of time. They're like, yeah, we can take the meat slicer up there and take it down, shave it off, but if it comes back in 6 months, we just got to go right back.
Yeah. I don't know. They convinced me that like having the biopsy people right there, they get better results than the margin people do. I don't know.
You're probably, the area that mine was in is a little different too.
Yeah. Because yours was on an eyelid, they could just take a nice triangle, put it back together, and you look great. If it's on the bridge of your nose, you can't easily just dig 3 millimeters into your cartilage nose bone and it fucks
I just
you up.
realized you were making me uncomfortable talking about my own eye surgery. A thing that had happened to me. You were there. I was like, stop talking about that. I don't like thinking about it. That was awful.
But like, I can conceptualize taking a triangle out of an eyelid, putting it back together, and being fine. It sucks to recover from, except for the badass eye patch. But the bridge of your nose, like you're gonna have like a asymmetrical dent if they take too much, like that. You don't want that.
Yeah. It'd be like you'd have to wear glasses from here on out.
I might be in that spot anyway, but that is a good point. One with a pad that like fits in the hole.
I told you the other day that I was going to give DayZ a try, and I have, it's just not a good game.
No, it's just
not a good game. Like the real problem is you're always, if you start a new character, if you just hop in, you got so much time between now and when the fun starts. Like if the three of us were to jump on DayZ right now, first of all, it'd probably take a good 20 minutes to get it downloaded and everybody to figure out their buttons and map their controls. Make that 30. And then 30 minutes from now, we would start playing the game. And then 30 minutes from then, we might find each other. And then 30 minutes from then,
so we don't get
an
to
hour
start
and a half
place?
into this journey, we would be an hour and a half in, and someone would be so starving that they would die. Or they would have, or some bully would have come along and then like done something real mean to us. Like in that game, you can be like, stick him up. And like, if you don't have a gun, you better fucking stick him up because he's got a fucking gun.
Yeah.
We don't know if he's got any bullets or not, though. And,
who knows?
And he'll have his buddy come over and tie your hands up. And now you're tied up. And if he ties your hands up with wire, Taylor, Woody can't untie me because they tied me up with wire. What if they used handcuffs even and they leave with the fucking key? They put a bag on your head, handcuff you, and leave you on the ground. And you're just laying on the ground now. And they,
what? I wouldn't allow that to happen.
What do you need a multi-tool or something?
Oh, you wouldn't allow it to happen. You wouldn't. You know what they do?
Quit.
They'd hit
I would
you and like
fuck you, and I'd turn it off. That's how I would stop that. They'd be like, "Stick him up." I'd be like, "I'm not playing your little fantasy." And then I'd say some non-YouTube gamer words, and then I log
you spent
off.
90 minutes finding a pocket knife and a bucket. You can't quit now.
Dude,
so this is all your progress.
My cloths.
It's awful. It's fucking awful. And look, what they. If you don't comply, they'll hit you in the head with a shovel or something, and you go unconscious in this game. And you wake up, and you're tied up. You're just tied up.
I mean, you're not selling me.
No, I look. I'm sure there's a lot of people that found a way to make that game fun, and I bet it's fun with your friends when you all know what to do. But God,
that was the first like really popular big what is it called? Wasn't that huge?
It's a mod. Is what it is. It was one of those games that's never going to be completely out. It's a mod from Arma, if I remember correctly.
Arma 3 was the original game, and they put this mod on it, and I thought they did release it completely, but I'm not sure.
It's standalone, but it's still like a beta game. You know, it's
I didn't
still
know that.
Like not a finished thing. It has to be because they're always improving on it, right? Yeah. I mean, this has bases and stuff
says
too.
Arma 2 was the base for it. Maybe I'm wrong.
I thought it was Arma 3 as well. It doesn't matter though. It's the same concept, but I just can't have fun with that game. I'm looking for a game to play. I really want to play something.
Magic the Gathering Arena, or
get out of here.
Get out of here. Skyrim. I wanted to. I actually wanted to ask you this because I know you've modded the shit out of Skyrim before.
Oh yeah.
I've wanted to add some mods and mess around with it, but like, I'm not really looking for goofy, silly mods like to put on there. What I really want are just like more missions, more shit to do. Like, except like, I want it to feel like the game, you know, like you talk to someone and they're like, I need to do this to defeat the werewolves of whatever keep. And like, that's the sort of mod I want.
Have you, and you're going to play on PC, right? So have you used any mod managers before?
I guess my character I want to use is on Xbox.
Oh.
On Xbox One. They do have mods.
Well, I have no idea. They got mods there. Good luck with that. I don't know what console mods are like.
Well, then I'll have to I'll find a way to transfer.
Well, the thing is, they're going to be tremendously easier because you're going to be like, it's going through Microsoft. So it's going to be like, do you want this mod? It does X, Y, and Z. And you're going to be like, yeah. And you're going to click A and it's going to fucking download it and apply it. Whereas on the PC side, you've got to use a mod manager, at least one. When I mod Fallout, I'll have like 3 mod managers total, one just for the body of the character and with sliders and stuff. And as far as adding new missions, like you can do anything and everything. There's so many, they do voice acting. I don't know how they finance this stuff.
Really?
There's just people who I guess want to get into game development, and as like something for their portfolio, I guess maybe they're just making mods for Fallout for free, because there will be voice acted like fully done levels added on. And in Fallout, it's really easy to add a new level. I guess in Skyrim it is too. You make it a cave, and Fallout you make it a vault, and it's just like you walk up to a door and it's like boom, now we got a new world, and they do a really good job at that. But there's lots of good mods on the PC for doing stuff like just making the grass require less RAM or less GPU power, like just making the game run perfectly.
I should do it on PC. If I'm going to do it, I should go whole hog into it. But like, when I was looking up all the mods and everything a couple nights ago, all the ones people talk about are like, oh, the no gravity and the, everybody's now naked and now there's a snowman that runs around. And it's like, I don't want any of this. I still want to feel like I'm playing Skyrim. When you run out of quests, I want there to be more shit to do. Perfect. That's not the Night Mother sending you on another assassin.
Yeah, you want immersive mods. You want mods that don't break the lore. And there's a whole category of those.
That's perfect. I didn't know
the way to get started, there was a YouTube video. Like everything else, like there are guys who are so passionate about that community. It's like, oh, so you wanted to become a Skyrim modder? Well, let's start downloading. And then just like a link in the description of like 8 different things to download. You can just go ahead and get those kicked off, get them rolling through. It's pretty simple to do, and it's a lot of fun. And most people end up spending like 4 to 6 hours that first day just adding mods before they even play the game. And when you finally get to play it, it's really fun. I like to add weapons. I like to add weapons from other universes, like He-Man's sword or some shit.
See, that would be fun too. I would need to add stuff. Like I wouldn't want a gun in Skyrim. I would want it to like fit like the bow and arrow sword kind of lore, but like
and there's balance mods. So you know how that like a lot of times in Skyrim you end up defaulting back to the stealth archer character because that's so effective at dealing with enemies who are kind of out of your skill level. So everybody's like, oh, but I can kill him if I just stealth archer. Yeah. But it kind of ruins anybody ever being a sword and shield guy. There's mods to fix that. There's mods that like balance everything out. And Fallout, I don't remember what it's called, but it's called like whoever made the mod, like James Butley's Fix It All mod. Yeah. And it's like this fixes every known bug in Fallout. It's 8 gigs. It's how much of Fallout is left after Mr. Butley is done with it? Not much. He like fixes every bug, every crash symptom.
That. Like I love Skyrim, I dread every time in a new character going to Riften and talking to that dude who's like, I want you to pickpocket this guy and then plant the ring on this other guy and then come talk to me. And then you do it. And then you go over to him and he's like, you'll have to act quickly. Not much time.
Anytime you don't,
it's like, well, I just did it. Just take what I'm trying to give you.
It's still not fixed. Are they not preparing Skyrim? They just left this bug
on PC. It's fixed. There's a mod there's a mod I guarantee that's called like Riften Ring Switcheroo Fix, and it's just like boom fixed. And if that doesn't work, there's a mod that allows you to go like tilde force / mission / complete enter, and it's just like mission completed. Like there'll be something like that. We're on PC. You want it done, it's done.
In fairness, like the one I've played on the Xbox One has no glitches in comparison to the one I played on the 360 in college. Like the 360 college one, like there were times where I'd have to be like, all right, well, I have to go back to a save 10 levels ago because I can't complete this story because this person was killed by a dragon. It's like, return the keys of Amalok to Ted the Bountiful. And then you go back and Ted is being ass blasted by a dragon. You're like, no, don't kill Ted. And then they kill Ted and you have to go back.
One thing though, mods make the game a lot more difficult for your PC to run. So
I figured.
So especially you definitely won't be able to go overboard. Have you played Skyrim on PC before?
No.
You might want to see if your PC can run Skyrim.
I know that's
a joke. Like everything can run Skyrim, just like everything can run Doom. But like, what's it going to look like? Do you want to play in 30 FPS? No,
I do not. I want it to look nice. It looks great on the Xbox.
That's where I'm stuck on that. Can everything run Skyrim? Is there really an issue?
Well, he wants to look nice. He wants to look nice and he wants to mod it. And I remember the last time I tried to make Skyrim look nice, modded in 1440p, and it being like 30 frames per second. And when I'd go into like a big part of the world, it'd be like 3 frames per second. That's the last time I tried. I don't know if it's since I got the 2080 Ti or I don't know if it's.
See, I have in my head you're talking about 6-year-old hardware, but I could be wrong. I might be making that up.
I mean, it's getting there, but a 2080 Ti is like 5-year-old hardware now or something. I think it's almost time for like the 3090 Ti is out. So
yeah,
and you can get one for $1,200.
Ti.
Well,
yeah,
you've been able to get one for about a month and a half or so for $1,200. So I'm thinking about building a PC. It looks like there's a considerable savings all of a sudden to build your own PC. When I add it up on Parts Picker, I'm at like $3,200, and when I add it up on any of the companies, it's like $4,200, like $1,000 more, and I got to wait 10 days. And it's not hard to put a PC together. So I may just build a new PC and get that new i9 processor. What is the 12 something K? And,
I'm out of date on the processors. But is Intel the bomb again? I thought the bomb. I'm in the 90s. So get a Pentium Pro. Because it used to be all about AMD. I think mine's an AMD. At the time, it was a clear leader.
Yeah, I haven't done my research, but I heard someone say that Tarkov had an issue with AMD sometimes, or maybe one specific AMD CPU, and I just didn't want to take a chance. And I do the same thing, like whenever I'm right now, I'm thinking of it as like a Tarkov machine, but it's really just a machine. But that's just a real hard game to run. It's CPU dependent, and I just know that Landmark has that CPU, so like seems like the way to go.
You'd think that he had done his research and
like spared no expense, that
sort of too. Thing. Like it. Sometimes it's hard to take other people's advice because they get way too hung up on expense, and I get it, right? To whatever it is, like 3,200 versus 3,400 means different things to different people. But to me, I'm like, if
I'd feel dumb if like a year, 3 years from now, if I'm like, should have spent that extra $200 3 years ago, huh? Oh,
yeah,
dumbass.
Sometimes I look at motorcycle reviews, and there's a motorcycle. I'm making up numbers, but one for 7,800 and one for 8,300. And they're like, I don't know how this $8,300 bike is going to compete with this $7,800 bike. And I'm like, I don't know. If they're $500 from each other, get the one you want. Like, don't go bonkers over that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $500 like in a vehicle. Like you did a good job scaling it like that, because PCs cost about $4,000, bikes cost about $8,000. It's that's how it goes.
If you can't afford an $8,300 bike, you can't afford a $7,600 bike.
Yeah, these are toys we're talking about to begin with. If we're talking about your workstation at work, that's a different conversation. But we're talking about a Tarkov machine. And in Woody's case, we're talking about a leg breaking machine. Okay? These are toys.
The legs don't break themselves.
No, they
cost you
don't.
more money in the long run.
You got to hit it hard, Evil Knievel.
Yeah, exactly. You can't get a lightweight bike. The thing might not break at all.
Nah, I got a cowboy up. So
I'm
yeah,
looking at a new motorcycle.
I'm looking at
Again.
I'm pretty deep into looking at it. I've got new motorcycle fever.
So I don't have room for multiple bikes. I've already got like the gym I got mine in there with the gym. So which I like, by the way. I like that, like I'm working out in the bikes right there because I consider motorcycles like works of art. Yeah. I want it in the living room. I want it in my I really do, because I've seen that before, like in one form or another, like a vehicle in someone's like living room, nicer living rooms than mine, to be fully honest. But nonetheless, the concept remains. I think that a vehicle in the house looks nice, especially that shiny red chromed out motorcycle of mine.
About a truck in your front yard.
I have wanted a motorcycle that I don't even want to ride that much. I saw on Craigslist in my area a 1973 shovelhead Harley Davidson. I don't know my Harley Davidson lore enough to be like what the pros and cons of the shovel heads were 49 years ago.
Show me a 73 shovel head, Jack.
Right? Yeah. If you could pull one up. But this particular bike is cool looking. It's an old Harley. It looks like it just rolled off the showroom floor. Like it's perfect. Mine didn't look like that one much at all.
Didn't get a cafe racer conversion on that thing. Just stretch out.
You know what?
That looks awful, by the way.
If it's still on Craigslist, I'll be able to find it in a second.
That's what I mention cafe racers, because those kind of bikes appeal to me a lot. Because like
it's not there.
I don't think they don't look comfortable for anything long, but I don't ride far.
Yeah,
I think I would kind of like it because go ahead.
To talk about the work of art thing, this 49-year-old Harley Davidson to me is a bike that you ride a little, but you're still happy you bought. Right? If you never rode your bike, you might feel like, it was a purchase that didn't work out. But this, it's like a show car. Maybe your father has cars that are 100 years old and he doesn't ride them all the time, but that doesn't mean he hates them. He's happy to have them. Like he enjoys them. Maybe I'm off target.
His buddy's got a John Deere collection that will be in a museum someday. Right? A day will come when John Deere's like, wait, you've got this? Yeah, we got them all.
Yeah, and it's pretty far down my list. Like all the bikes I have now, I like to ride. But I can definitely see a case for a bike that isn't the one you reach for. It's not the best at any particular mission, except looking good in your living room.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I'll trade my bike when I get the next bike. I'll do that. I don't want to maintain a fleet of bikes, nor do I have the space for a fleet of bikes.
Right.
And nor do I ride enough for a fleet of bikes. I don't have the multi-use case either to support a multi-bike scenario. Because you got bikes like people have like different hammers. You're like, well, yeah, I need 8 hammers. They do 8 different fucking things.
Right? I'm gonna ride this big one in the city. Yeah, that's not a city bike. This is a city bike. That's the highway bike.
To everybody else, they're like, a hammer's what you womp things with. And to you, you're like, look, sometimes I do masonry, sometimes I do jewelry making, sometimes I do a little geology. Sometimes I gotta do demolition. There's a little bit of everything. So I get example. It. But I would like maybe a bike more like what I trained on originally, that's really low to the ground, and like an old loud chugga-lugga-lugga type motorcycle. That's as far as my motorcycle knowledge goes in describing the kind of bike that I'm interested in.
That'd be fun. Yeah. It depends on the mission for me. I think you like riding country roads, and that sounds like something that would do it well.
Lazily, like 60, 70 miles an hour. And I'm really having a good time. If I have to like start focusing because stuff's coming at me fast now, and now this feels like an athletic event.
Right.
I'm like,
this is the edge of your personal cornering talent. You're not in the right spot.
That's not why I went out on the motorcycle. Yeah. I like a relaxing ride, not a challenging ride. I've never went out and been like, let's push it to the limit today. like that's never occurred to me. It's been like, let's be safe out there.
Like on my yellow flag helmet.
I rev it 3 times in my yard like a badass in front of my annoyed neighbor, and then putter away at 15.
Find the ice cream man.
I do wheelies down my driveway, and it's like, I wonder if my family saw.
Honey, you gotta see this deer. He just ran away. There's a whole family of deer out here. Just you missed a bird.
I've been on the YouTube short thing, and there's this. I wish I knew his name, but there's this black guy.
Mm-hmm.
There's this good-looking black guy who seems to have some kind of a podcast or radio show. I don't know what he does. He's framing himself as a very successful person, and he's wearing a suit, and he seems to be in a nice place, and he's giving advice to like men and women on sort of like how to live your life. And I'm addicted to him. I think his name's Kevin. I wish I could like here's an example.
Kevin Samuels.
Zach says Kevin Samuels. Could it be that?
I believe Zach if he says that. But like it's like this guy. That's one where this woman is saying that this man, she's like, this man I was dating, we'd been together for a month, he wanted to have sex, and he says, okay, well, you're 30 years old, he's not a virgin, how long was it going to be? How long would you feel comfortable with? She's like, I was thinking 2 months. Is that what you told him? No. What'd you tell him? I told him that I'd had bad experiences with men in the past. Well, that's your problem. Why are you putting that on him? Now you're making your problems his. And she's like, yeah, but that's a part of me. Yeah, a part of you that he shouldn't have to deal with, that the world doesn't want to deal with, because that's your shit. And I was like, I like this guy. And then there's another one where he's like, and he's talking about black men in particular. He's like, he uses the N-word a little bit, but he said something like, he's like, ninja, wash your ass. And yeah, I mean your asshole. And he literally like for
are I'm people not washing their asses out?
Apparently not. Apparently he's like
he's like out of.
He's like, y'all coming in here hating on a pretty ninja like me who's got it figured out and is trying to share some of this knowledge. No, he said a pretty ninja like me who upgraded his bitch. But he said y'all are a bunch of stinky ninjas walking around with skid marks in your drawers.
I mean, good advice. If there's a guy out there who, I mean, how naive do you have to be to not?
He would not be digging. Look, I fully believe it. He's like he tells a grown man how to wash himself for a minute in this video that I watched on the YouTube Shorts. You know, I'm just flicking through them. He's like, lather it up and then wash your balls. And I don't mean one swipe or two. 2 minutes is what I'm talking about. Rub-a-dub-dub, soap them up, and then wash, rinse it all the soap, and then get some more. All right.
But how do I brush my teeth, Kevin?
Dude, I swear to God, there have got to be men out there who don't know this, because then he explains how to wash your ass. And he said that guys are coming here saying it's gay to wash your asshole.
Oh, I've seen
you're by yourself.
Say that on Reddit. Like,
no,
there are people who,
having a gay man help you would be gay.
How many black guys like think it's gay to wash your ass? Because like they shouldn't be touching their own ass like that.
There was a girl on Reddit whose boyfriend wouldn't clean her own butt because it's gay.
Yeah,
and she was just going on a blowjob strike until he changed his mind on this, and she asked for advice from the Reddit community. Overwhelmingly, they supported her.
Oh! I support her too.
Yeah,
I'm not eating any pussy if you don't know how to clean your asshole.
I'm typically not in favor of blowjob strikes, but on hers, I'm on her too.
Yeah.
How much of this video was talking about cleaning yourself, like basic cleaning?
Well, you gotta.
Well, this is a short.
Maybe you don't know what the shorts are.
Okay.
Like they're a minute.
I forgot it was a short.
Yeah, they're a minute tops, and I'm just devouring them. They're so good. I'm sitting here like for an hour will go by, and I've been sitting here clicking these things, and they're not all him. It's like for some. I don't know why YouTube. See, there's no way for YouTube to know if I'm liking them or not because I don't interact with them. Mm-hmm. So it's weird to me the patterns that are created without any user input. It's like
there's one piece of user input.
What is it?
Do you watch to the end?
Yeah, watch time.
View time. Do you watch to the end? Yeah, because if it sucks, then there's
excellent point.
Yeah.
So what it's apparently, I watch a lot of Andrew Tate to the end, and I watch a lot of this black fellow to the end. love him to death.
Man, you guys are both getting red pilled, and I'm falling behind. I'm gonna watch.
yeah. I don't. The Andrew Tate guy is pretty hilarious. He's got some funny takes.
I did watch a short or two of his.
I'd like to have him on our show. He does a lot of people's shows. It's like I think it's part of his business strategy. Like, he's gotten famous quickly, and I think part of the way that he does that is you invite him on your show, he comes on. Now he's met our 250,000 people. He meets someone else's 250,000 people, and he grows.
He seems like an interesting guy. I don't know very much about him. Just from the YouTube shorts that I occasionally get of him.
He does highlights of his own podcast. And I've talked about him before. A little bit of it is dunking on Fisher Price hoops, which I typically don't like. He has these often beautiful but uneducated women who I don't think made it through 10th grade. And they can't make their points eloquently at all. So he lays some truth out there in quotes, and they're meant to rebut it. But they can't speak eloquently. They can't make a point concisely. So he lets them make fools of themselves for 1.5 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then afterwards is like, what? What did you just say? Or he'll counter it with some stat he has in his back pocket, and he just rips these women.
Did you ever hear him? I don't know very much about him again, but I heard in one short he was talking about how he made, I don't know if it was his fortune or just a fortune or some fortune, whatever. But he talked about when he had 5 girlfriends who didn't know that he had 5 girlfriends. And he went to, I think, London, and he invites all 5 of his girlfriends out there. And they come and show up, and they're like, who are these 4 bitches? All of them do. And they're like, hey, look, well, I've been dating all of you, and I invited you here to get rich with me and have a great time. So I'm going to start a cam girl business, and you're going to, and already the first 2 left.
Yeah.
like, and he's like, no, a cam business, and you girls are going to be working it. You're going to be getting naked. And you're going to be my host, and I'm going to be the one typing to the guys, like flirting with them, and you're going to be getting naked for them. And then 2 more leave, or like maybe 1 more. But anyway, he had like 2 that stayed. He's like, and then I had those 2 girls with me, and we started, and that's how we did that. And it's like he started this ridiculous cam girl business. And the funniest, I saw another short where he's talking about this girl got a customer, a guy who pays her to get naked and stuff, but his thing isn't getting naked. He wants her to go he donates like a lot of money. I don't know, $50, $100, $250, get gummy bears. So the next night she shows up, I got the gummy bears. All right, get them out, put them on the table. All right, boop, 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 boop. See that red one there? That's me. That's all my friends. Please don't eat us. He's like, oh, I'm going to eat you. Please don't. Oh, I'm going to gobble you motherfuckers up. And there's nothing you can do about it. This is your friend right here. What do you think about that? And he's just like, please don't eat them.
That's a man who knows what he wants.
Yeah. She's
how do you arrive
friends.
There?
Every one of his friends, she's eating in sequence. All these gummy friends, and he's just been pumping it the whole time. Please don't eat me. Leave me for last, but please just let me live. Oh, you're a goner. And he just comes everywhere.
That's hilarious.
Good for that guy, and
it's
good
not
for
my
her.
thing, but
deserves
that's
an Oscar.
Pretty, and I like her. Dude, my thing about kinks, twofold. One, you don't know what you like until you've tried it. It's a lot like food. There are many foods you might have thought you would never be your cup of tea, and then you try it, and you're like, oh, actually, you know what? It's better or worse than I thought. Whatever that is. Second thing on kinks, there's like a scale of what I expect from you, right? If you're my lover and this hurts or something, you can say no, right? Like that's a no. If it's like feet or something, feet aren't my thing. But I use it as an example because it's so harmless and easy.
I'll lick them if you want me to.
Yeah, dude. If you're a foot guy and like you like this guy, dude, they're your feet. Get over it. Give him what he wants. Fulfill his fantasy. Make him happy.
You let the dog lick him. Let him lick him.
Right? Like it's an easy ask. It's no big deal. Now, maybe you're the odd bird who's had some sort of trauma. I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about like in general. If this guy's into gummy bear eating, And your girl is like, no, that's a bridge too far for me.
Well,
fuck
technically he's clearly into some sort of vor role play, I think. The vor is the one where you've got the giant women eating the men, gobbling them, a la like Japanese anime, sort of that.
It's a
style.
Wow, I had no idea about that, but cool. Dude, that is such a harmless, easy kink. If my girl wanted that, do it. I would do it.
Fuck yeah, line them up. Gummy worms, gummy bears, do your thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Any kind of food. Pretty soon it's like yeah, and you're this double quarter pounder.
Oh, you don't want me to eat this pastrami on rye, do you? But this really turns.
I bet you don't want me to eat your friend, Mr. Pepsid.
These meats are your friends, and these cheeses are your family.
Oh, and the remaining of your friends, all of the death by gummy bears.
I ordered groceries today, and the Instacart lady, she texts me. We've been going back and forth about like selections. I'm making spaghetti tonight, and like I don't know, she's replacing cheeses and shit. She gets to the end, and she says, your card's declined. And I was like, no, it's not. She's like, I tried it at every register. I'm like, it's not mine. She's like, it's got to be. And so I screenshotted my PayPal balance because that's what we're using, and I sent it to her, and I said, clearly not mine. We're all good here. And she's like, well, it's not my problem. And I'm like, whose else's would it be? You're at the store. I was like, what's going to happen now? She's like, you'll have to take it up with Instacart, And Instacart sent me like I think they fired her, but Instacart sent me this thing that was very clear. They're like, it was her card that was declined. This is ridiculous. We're sending you. They sent me some credits, and they were real cool, and they instantly ordered it again for me. But she was like being like sassy about the whole thing. She's like, clearly you don't have $37, sir, for spaghetti and hamburger meat. And I'm just like, no, I do. I promise. Will you run it again or something? And no, it was her who didn't have $37. So I felt better.
Well, maybe she'd do better in life if she had a better attitude.
If she wasn't such a cunt, she'd have $37.50.
That is her problem. She's a cunt.
I mean, it can't help. It can't help when your journey to gain $37.50. I think a personable attitude would go a long way.
A little charisma helps.
I set an appointment today to go to the dog shelter, and I showed up like 20 minutes early. I was like, I'm here for the 2:30, and she's like, we don't have a 2:30, and I'm like, huh. I'm like, pull it up on my email. I got the confirmation, and I'm like,
it's the right day.
It's not the right day. she goes, that says the 21st, and I'm like, oh, well, shit. Well,
do you have any dogs today?
That's what I said. I was like, I'm here. And she's like, let me see if anybody can like take you back. And there's literally nobody to take me back to look at the dogs. But there's a very specific dog I want that they've got in there, and I can't go get him. So I'm hoping he's still there when I go back.
Tell me about the dog.
It's like a mini husky. It looks like a husky fucked a what are those little corgi? Like a husky corgi.
Wow.
but it retained all of the husky
I'm
traits.
not confident that was consensual.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
That's gonna shed more than you can imagine.
That dog. I'm not dead set on that dog. I wanted to look at that dog and see what his deal was. And but I'm looking, the dogs I'm looking at are all like medium sized, like spaniels, and yeah, maybe a little bit like that. Mine looks less sporty.
Less sporty. Not quite such an athlete.
Mine's kind of a crossover. In a word car.
My dog's more of a napper. But I'm looking at dogs that are like German Shepherd mixes. Like if they have that kind of head on them. Like I feel like there's like a few different designs despite all the breeds. There's like that Labrador head. Weimaraners have that same fucking head.
Yeah.
Though. It's the same fucking head, right? I know they're two different things, but they got the same fucking head. A bunch of them do. And then bulldogs all have that fucking wide jawed thing where their jowls come all the way back to their fucking ears.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So that they can eat you like a fucking ball of death. One thing I've said the whole way is I will have nothing to do with a bulldog. I can't do it. Even if I found one, a pit bull, yeah. Even if I found one that was like, hello, Kyle. And I was like, holy shit, this one talks. And they're like, only to you, apparently. Oh my God. I'd still leave his fucking shitbull ass there to die. Like, I would, no.
Did you mean bulldog or pit bull? Do you have
pit bull. But they all look the same to me. Like I don't trust the boxers either. I don't know. I don't like any of those weaponized dogs. And I guess you could say the same is true about German Shepherds, but most of the ones I'm looking at are like 30 or 40 pounds. I don't know. I do not like pit bulls. I think they are more armed than the average dog, and I want to be able to kick my dog's ass.
That's a good
unquestionably. We can just go from that standpoint. I will only have dogs that I can beat to death with my bare hands.
Beat any dog to death.
Prove it.
I don't know.
I've never been beaten by a dog.
Well, but that's because of lack of challenge.
I mean, there's like there's dog training schools.
Belgian Malinois, is that huge dog?
They're not huge. No. I heard a really good description. I think maybe it was the trainer I bought him from. He described it as German Shepherds as police dogs and military dogs, working dogs in general, being like the Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Belgian Mals being more like a Bruce Lee. Where and you may have seen a demonstration that's often played on Reddit where bad guys barricaded behind a bunch of office chairs and shit, and they sick the German Shepherd on him, and the German Shepherd kind of like plows through all the chairs and like fucks the guy up. German Shepherd's 80 to 115, 120 pounds, big fucking dogs. Then they send the Belgian Mal in. It clears 35 feet in midair like a missile and hits this guy and takes him down. Like it's just a different, smaller, more jumpy, bouncy, scary, hyperactive dog. And yeah, I got one for some reason for $3,000, I think, out the door. I think I was about $3,000 out the door. And I remember thinking that was such a good deal. I was like, I get to take his toys too. You're throwing the toys in for $3,000? Yeah.
You mean you're throwing in these $7 worth of stinky trash with it?
His water bowl, and we got him home, put him in his kennel. They're like
water included,
and we left him alone for like hour and a half tops. We went to Walmart and back to get him food, mind you. And when we came back, he had shit in the kennel and then gotten the zoomies and done circles in the shit for like, I don't know, an hour and a half. And it was the most putrid smell. Kitty and I were cleaning it up and vomiting. We were both gagging as we did it, like constantly going, and I'll be like, stop, don't do it or I'm going to puke. I'm going to puke. Don't do it. And then we were back and forth with the vomiting and cleaning his disgusting shit up. That was night one with that cocksucker. And then he bit me, like a year and a half later, 2 years later, he bit me hard. And like, it was clear, like he could have taken my calf off if he'd wanted to, but he bit around my calf. And like, it was like a warning bite, not a nip.
Did you just flex your calf and break his teeth? That's my move.
I tried that, and he bit a little bit harder, and I cried.
And then I killed him.
But like I walked outside, and he was outside, and I didn't know it, and we were just in a standoff scenario where he was just like super aggressive, and I just froze and looked away from him, and he walked up to me and bit my calf hard, squeezed it once, and then backed away and barked some more, and I didn't even move when he bit me. I just went, and Kitty went, oh shit.
Did he have any puncture wounds? Like, what was the
no, it just bruised the fuck out of it and like scraped the skin. You know how like skin turns red and it like rolls up on itself or whatever. Like he was clearly giving me a like,
that was a warning,
serious warning, but stay away. Their teeth are a lot sharper than other dogs. Like Labradors have intentionally dull teeth, so they don't damage the duck when they bring it back to you. This dog has teeth that are clearly made to dig into people and hold on to them while a copper comes with his baton to rough them up.
Oof. This dog that Zach linked looks really cool to me. Zach, can you show the picture of it? I don't even know if it's real. It might be shopped, but this dog's got. I think you're right. Now that I see it, it was really big on my screen.
That's the fakest field I've ever seen. Unless that's.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a real dog, but he's not in that field.
Yeah, he's not in the field.
That's what they do. If you go to Amazon, if you want to see some more funny photoshopping, Zach, go to Amazon and look up dog hats and find the photos of the dogs wearing the hats that they're selling. And they couldn't even find a dog that would sit still for their hat, so they just photoshopped hats onto dogs. They couldn't find dogs that put up with that horse shit. That's one thing I'm gonna do. Immediately buying clothes for my dog. I found this necklace, or I say necklace. I found a dog chain on Amazon, and it's like a big Cuban chain, but it's gold. Oh, look at this! Look at that guy. All right, I think that one's actually wearing the hat. That dog's wearing that fucking hat. That's pretty cool.
I do like.
You can tell he's not loving it.
No,
dogs. They're like. I promise you will have the bacon. Just sit still a little longer. And he's like, I won't believe you, but not.
Dogs with shoes are hilarious.
Okay, you have to get a little dog like that just for this.
See, that's the thing.
That little,
I've never been to a pound. I've never been to a pound
make
before.
your pet more. No, go back to that other picture, Zach. Go back. The Asian. Make your pet more funny. Make it real quick. Anything you want. Have you ever seen those Amazon listings where it's like, man, this is the cheapest binder they have for trading cards, and it's like, hold all card, many card. And I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna roll the dice with this one. These are the finest short. These good short. Wear over leg. Size is L. Like it's LX. I was like, what that mean?
I'm worried that I'm gonna go in there because I've never been in a scenario before, pound or anything like that, where I could take dogs home. Everybody else has always gotten dogs for me. I mean, there was the time when I bought Dak, but he was in there with a bunch of other like professional working dogs. I'd have went broke buying 2 or 3 dogs there. His dogs cost more than cars. It's absurd. So there was no danger there. But at like the Atlanta Humane Society or wherever the fuck, it's like $80. At first, I was going through these cutesy dog adoption agencies, and to be fair, that's where the good dogs are. That's where the cool dogs are. They'll have like one blue eye, one green eye, and they'll be like an albino fucking Great Dane or something that can fly. But
dude, like you said with the chips, like. No, you don't want to look back and be like, "Oh, I could have had an awesome dog."
No. I got this because here's the thing:
the place don't we have bad dog luck again.
No. This place I'm going, these are going to be pups that they like took in and found. That the other, that's great with the dog hats.
That middle one is so fucking cute in that little pink hat.
Look at the one with the pink hat.
I want to hear Kyle's explanation of why it's pound. They've taken them in. I think were you headed towards their true rescues?
Those other places are so picky about the people they allow to have the dogs that I refuse to stand and be inspected. I'm like, look, I'm okay with giving you the $600 fee for a mutt that you're charging. I like that you're taking that money and that goes to like helping these other dogs with health problems. Great. Call it a donation. Great. But you're not coming to my fucking house to inspect it, dude. You're not going to come to my house and inspect it. And like, 80% of places where you like get these dogs, home inspection required. They're going to come and make sure that you have a proper fenced in yard with enough room for this fucker to play. Make sure that it's clean and like livable, that you're not running a puppy mill. They're going to run a background check. They want references.
I want to be a fly on the wall.
It's easier to buy a car than
I may be a felon, but I know for a fact that dog steals. I had a piece of bread on the coffee table before he got here. The only difference between him and I is police enforcement.
Yeah,
that's right.
Look at us, thick as thieves.
I mean, he fucked up when I met him. I don't see the difference.
Yeah, he's in jail right now. I'm busting him out. Why are you judging me?
That is bullshit. That they want to come to your house.
Yeah, I decided when I looked at that like I'm not gonna put up with that. I don't. First of all, I do want a dog soon-ish, and it's this long process where you got to go meet the dog and hang out with him, and then like leave, and then the dog's foster family goes and like reports on you to the adoption agency. They're like, yeah, I think Kyle would do, but we need to check his place out, scope everything out. And they're like, okay, we'll send the guy in. And then I guess they make an appointment with you. Like, all right, you passed the first step.
I've been through this.
And I won't do it. I won't do it.
We had people come. We had a fenced in yard. We had a stay-at-home mom in the family. And they're like, and kids. They're like, yeah, this is where the dog should go. And they liked us. But we just happened to fit the demo they were looking for.
See, I don't like that either. I don't like that the dog has options. Oh. If these dogs have options, then maybe I misunderstood. You'd call this a dog rescue. That doesn't sound like the situation. He doesn't. These dogs don't need rescue.
I need a dog that's a day and a half from a pizza oven.
That guy. He's fucking got a fucking Star of David shirt on back there. They're lining him up to the mortuary. I want that dog. I want a dog that appreciates me. And that's why, like, I'm a little worried about the pound situation because I'm going to be walking through rows and rows of these little fuckers in cages, and I'm thinking in my head that, like, I know I've looked at like 30 dogs that I like among the like 300 they have. and I'm gonna see like how the dog treats me, like if he seems to like me genuinely. Now it's possible. I'm worried that they like everyone. And so like I'm worried I'm gonna come back with more than one fucking dog because they are only like $80 a pop.
I mean,
give them
if
you
do
10 dogs.
If you do,
get
Kyle,
10 dogs, as many as will fit in a Camaro, they'll give them to you.
That's a great little costume.
What if I did that? What if I backed my car up and said, fill her up?
Can you put that back on the screen? Is it hard?
Get that Jew dog back up there.
$80 for the dog. I don't know. That's a lot. That's steep. I could do $2. I mean,
now for any of
great.
our,
but Kyle, if you get 2 dogs, like they will play with each other a lot. Like,
well, see, here's what can make me get.
They'll keep each other busy.
They have, and I like that they do this. A lot of these places have bonded pairs. They have like 2 dogs who are buddies or brothers or sisters or something, and they've like been with each other, and then their owner died. Yeah. I could see myself getting one of those. What I won't get is one of those pitiful bonded pairs where you've got like Otis, and Otis is 17, a fucking bloodhound. He used to be red, but now he's white. He has no eyeballs, and they left his eye sockets open, and he's deaf. And all he does is sniff and spin. But
he has a seeing eye dog.
But Carla's there, and all Carla does is guide Otis. And what am I supposed to cry all day, every day with these 2 dogs? They're supposed to be supporting me. All right?
Kyle, imagine getting 5 dogs and becoming a pack leader.
No.
Now you can hire little Stevie, but he's blind, so you'll need to get Kevin with him. He's a seeing eye ball python. And he's
he'll wrap himself around Stevie. and what are those? It was like around him, and his head was like right next to Stevie's, and he'd like stick his little tongue. If he wanted to go left, he'd like lick one ear and lick the other. They like back and forth guiding the dog around. That'd be precious. I mean, that wouldn't rat it over. That's the only way I'd get a snake.
Snakes suck. Don't get a snake.
That's the other thing. At some of these shelters out here, like. Of course, they have dogs and cats, but the girl I spoke today was like, "What species?" And I was like, "Why not just ask dog or cat?" Dog. I didn't say that out loud, but I said dog, of course. And but they've got everything. They got like
canine. I say,
dude, you know what I want?
Well, they got guinea pigs, and they've got a mini horse. They've got
guinea pigs, baby kittens, things like that. Because I have birds of prey. And they don't. How cool would it be to put like a baby guinea pig in the driveway? Watch the birds come swooping down.
Oh, come on!
But like the whole time you're like having to set it up to like pretend like you're not letting it get murdered. Where you're like, Peanut, get back here! It's just a fucking guinea pig. Obviously, it's not coming back. I called him. Sorry, Jackie. I called Peanut. Listen. There's still a good deal of his viscer on the patio if you want to see. Well, it's dinner time. You guys want to call it?
Yeah, I haven't even had dinner. It's like after 8. All right, PKN 417.